So before we get into today's conversation, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this episode. Now that sponsor is Luca Composites Limited. For those of you who don't know, I've spent the last 12 years working in the composites industry here in the UK, supporting some of the most demanding manufacturing environments in the world, from Formula One suppliers to high-end performance automotive and specialist engineering projects. Luca Composites was built around a simple idea: solve problems, deliver quality, build relationships that last. And today, alongside our manufacturing work, we've also developing our own luxury carbon fiber products range, providing that engineering and innovation don't stop at the factory shop floor. So if you're a company looking to reach engineers, contractors, manufacturing professionals and business owners through BizTalk with Alexandru, this is exactly what a partnership can look like. Now let's get into today's episode.
I already named the dog.
Here today again with...
Salam alaikum, brothers. As they say.
And Beth Beasley.
Elizabeth.
Yes, or Elizabeth.
Nice to meet you all again. Thank you all for joining us.
So today we have a conversation on a wide range of topics.
There's a lot.
We haven't quite yet decided which one's going to be the most important, but we'll let you guys choose.
That's why it's a free flowing
Go with the
conversation.
flow,
This is what I like on the pod and stuff like that, when it's just
authentic chat.
authentic, because it's not putting a front on or anything, or not having anything sort of laid out. Because people watching, they're the same people as us. You know, we're not always in a perfect, most perfect condition for everything. It's always, you got to play it day by day, sort of thing.
Dave by Dave.
Day by day.
So, you and me going to be talking cars and Formula One.
Of course, a little
and
bit.
Beth is going to be talking nutrition.
Attempting.
And health.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Beth, we haven't had you on the podcast yet, so would you, for people that don't know you, would you introduce yourself there?
Do I look at you? Do I look at the camera? What's the preference? Okay. I feel more comfortable speaking to humans, but I acknowledge you guys. So yeah, I am a nutritionist. I've been working for about 6 years in that field, and then more recently taken the dive into self-employment in my brand. And had our first sort of launch, our first group's role, and set to do another batch in a month or so.
Okay.
So yeah, we focus on sort of like healthy lifestyle changes bit by bit. So any questions?
I'm not going to leave you out to the end, or we're going to be talking throughout, and we're going to be asking you a few questions. Because we as contractors and working for...
I feel like cars and nutrition can.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Even Formula One, and even, like you say, contracting.
The lifestyle thing.
Yeah.
The lifestyle we lead is not always very healthy.
It's definitely not. It's definitely, especially the night shift stuff, especially the...
I'm just the side nurse here then. Checking in.
I think that's why you're coming. You're going to give us advice on
Health advice.
how to get our lifestyle a bit healthier.
Composite health advice.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, if it's listened to.
I even thought,
he does listen.
For a while, I even said, like, make composites healthy again. Make laminators healthy again. Do you know what I mean?
When were they healthy?
At one point, surely, do you know what I mean? In the history of the past, when there was a lot less, you know what I mean?
Okay.
How would I say? The ultra-processed foods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it was, people had longer breaks, there was less productivity in terms of people being whipped into, you know what I mean, doing 110-hour weeks and whatnot, so people had a lot more time to focus on
Can't change that. That's not my profession. My profession doesn't extend that far, but I can
no, of course, but
help you find better copes.
Especially like things like, from myself, from my experience, when I was at one of the Formula One teams doing the night shifts, every night I got to a point where I was so knackered, I was just raiding the vending machines every night, just having a packet of Skittles every night.
To get through.
Just to get through, just to stay alive, isn't it? Obviously, that's not good.
Sounds familiar. Okay, so a couple of aspects in Formula One. Dave, you and me, we know this very well, but our audience might not. what aspects of F1 do you think are most misunderstood by people that are outside of the industry?
Yeah, I think it's the amount of work and the amount of like corporatism going on around. I think that people need to be aware of. I think that's one thing. It's still a corporate business, it's an industry, and in a lot of ways it's a blameless business and things like that. So everything is catered towards being very PC and stuff like that. So you got to be aware of that. Also, the amount of time investment, people don't really think about it. People just see the glamour side of F1, but don't think about like, the investment of time and energy that takes out of your life that you won't spend with your families. And that's not just for the trackside people, even people in the factories, like during the build season, the peer pressure you could be facing of other people doing overtimes, which you haven't, for example, signed up for. But you know what it's like in a corporate industry and stuff like that. There's a wide variety of things which are real economy topics, which people don't talk about on a day to day that you will meet when you work in F1. Rather than looking from the outside in, sort of thing.
Okay,
That's what I'd say.
right. And what was something, you can give me a positive and a negative maybe. What was something that most surprised you when you first entered in that environment? Because you're a couple of years less than me, so I don't know how long you've been doing this, but what was it? About 4 years?
Yeah, about 5 now. Roughly about 5, I think.
I've been running for over a decade.
Right.
I'm a bit of what people would call an OG now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was a good surprise? Something that surprised you and positively, let's say, a good surprise.
People, I'd say it's always the people. People make the place always, and it's whether that's the open-minded conversations of people. That's one thing that I've actually noticed. It's a lot more. I don't know whether that's with the society nowadays. People have been a little bit more tapped into what's going on, etc. But people are a lot more open-minded. The conversations had around these spaces are a lot more. I want to say intellectual in a way. You can tap into a lot of different avenues there and talk to people that might open doors or things like that, which you haven't even thought about. You might meet and, a year down the line, you might work on something together. So it's definitely the networking aspect, the people. A negative, I'd say it's the burnout and the overworking, and the tight budgets, which the FIA and these large corporates don't think about the time aspect of people that how would I say the peer pressure laying on people's heads.
Would you think that maybe IR35 had something to do with it? Because also, if you look at it, smaller businesses, so let's say if you and me were to start a manufacturing company to work with Formula One, we are a bit limited because we can't always afford to have someone as ourselves as contractors.
Yeah, of course.
On the company.
Of course.
Because of budgets.
Look,
as well.
That will definitely have a massive impact in terms of like it eliminates the little companies, it eliminates the little man, but that's bartering in a way. That's gatekeeping in a way, if you think about it, isn't it? Where you just have the big established industry. Same sort of thing we see in the economy going around the world. Whether that's S&P 500 companies, whether it is 7 or 8 companies sending money across between each other. That is what the industry is. That's what F1 is in a way, And I think definitely doesn't help small businesses and small up and coming entrepreneurs and things. But I don't think that's what the powers to be want. I don't think they want there to be small individuals who can make their own mind up and employ a small group of people who don't adhere to the rules that the secret societies around the world are. If I'm just being completely honest, I've got
No, that's fair. I agree with a few points on there, definitely. Gatekeeping, I think, is one of the things. I also think as well, but it's a larger topic as well. Involves agencies. It involves a lot of things as well.
Third parties who are profiting off of nothing, essentially. Made up industry.
Okay, so would you think that what impact has failure? Do you think failure is something? Because, well, I'll let you state your opinion, but what do you think? What sort of impact does failure have in our job? So when you're given to do something and you create a scrap.
Do you know what I would actually say?
I'm going to tell you something I'm going to interrupt you 1 second.
Go on.
And then we're going to develop. So this week I had a very, let's say, a very funny situation where a scrap was created and my name was attached to it. And it was attached to it because two individuals, myself and another individual, have done the same part, the left and the right. Well, not the same part, two different parts. It's a left and a right.
Yeah.
But we've done two parts and we had our paperwork switched. And no one, I mean, it's part of my job. I hold my hands up. I should have checked that I have the right part for the right mold that I'm creating.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I didn't. So I have an NCR tied to my name because the part went to bin, to the scrap.
This is what I was going to ask you. Obviously, I've had that experience with suppliers as well, but from having that experience, one thing I can say is Formula One teams and suppliers look at scrap and failure completely differently. Okay. When it's a Formula One team, oftentimes blame is spread out across the entire, you know what I mean?
The whole department.
The entire department.
The laminating department, the trim department.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not even the department. Sometimes a different department makes a mistake, and then it's the entire other department that, you know, has to reap the consequences of that, essentially. So it's very blameless and it's very spread out, which is good in a way. It's bad in a way where you make a bad part and then nobody tells you, and then you never learn, you know, in a way, because it can also be like that. Add suppliers, because it costs them a lot more money, it costs them a lot more time, a lot more energy, in, you know, electricity, heat, whatnot. So I can imagine there it would hurt them a lot more. That's why there's so much more on it, I would say.
My question in regards to failure, it comes down to accountability. I don't know this topic, but I think we have a generation that lacks accountability these days. There's like, oh, it's nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't want to know, kind of thing.
I have a new acronym for FAIL.
Okay.
Forever acquiring new lessons. No, forever acquiring.
That's actually brilliant.
What was it? Forever acquiring important lessons. Yeah,
that's good.
It's the only way that we grow. Is it? Do you think an industry specific thing? There's shame around failure.
I think there is, to an extent, because it's a very macho, masculine environment.
I think it's across
the... Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
It's human though.
Yeah.
It is, because you don't want to be singled out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't hold yourself accountable to standards, what else have you got?
This is the problem with.
For me personally, I'm talking as a family, as a dad, not just as a, you know, a contractor or business person, right? And I'm thinking, if you don't acknowledge failure and you don't acknowledge also the bad, not just the good, so you're only gonna praise.
Yeah.
So we got
ego.
We got a bit of the generation where everyone's got a participation diploma, right? But the real winners are the ones that are sitting on the podium. So if you look at Formula One, there's 18 different teams, cars on the track, but only 3 manage to the podium. They don't get participation, they get points, but there's no diploma. There's no. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess the real question is, what's your response to failure?
Yeah, basically. And I think a lot of people, they're not willing to accept that failure these days.
I think it's people don't want to be singled out. That's what it is, you know. And I think
you will be, however you want to put it, you will be from the moment that you step outside of your own environment, I think for the last 5 years we've been cocooned into this, you know,
false sense of comfort,
cuckoo land, as in because of the pandemic and all that happened, and everyone maybe sat in their own comfort of their own houses for too long. But I think as soon as you step outside of your own comfort, of your own little bubble, you are judged anyway by the way you dress, by the way you speak, by the way you present, by the car you drive, by whatever
so why care?
You know, standard you want to take it. Someone's going to look at you and it's going to go, because they have a different opinion.
That's why I think people are worried about accountability, because they don't want to be that odd one out of the group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When the entire clean room's like, oh no, we're good, we're the boys, we're going to make a mistake, and someone goes, oh yeah, no, I've effed that one up, you know. And oftentimes, an actual real human being will look at that and see the human aspect of it. I do. That's why I share my failures with people on the internet. You know what I mean?
So would you agree then that, for example, you work both on days, you on weekends now?
Yeah, so much better, bro. So much better.
Just a different person.
I've been on weekends. And I moved to nights. But yeah, the reasons are completely different.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, for me, I see a lot of, it's day shifts fault, it's night shifts fault. So again, is that push of the accountability.
Yeah, of course. Kicking it down the road.
Yeah. And, we call it Teflon shoulders.
Yeah.
It just goes off. It rubs off. It's nothing to do with me.
Do you know how much of that happens in F1? No joke, on daily basis, every single day. And it doesn't get ironed out. The issues don't get tackled. It's because everybody tries to appease somebody above them. And, it creates a culture where everybody just says yes, even without seeing whether they can do it, whether it can be finished. It just creates a yes man culture in a way. And yeah, you'd be surprised how much of that happens. Like, things don't get tracked back, things don't get looked at. It gets kicked down the road. Oh, night shift's fault, that bloke's fault. Who was that? Who's done that? Instead of actually someone who comes up with a solution, writing it down and going to like designers and going, right, okay, let's work a little bit on that. Let's solve this. Let's document it somewhere. They just go, oh yeah, no, I'll just patch that up. Don't pass the information to the next group, to the next shift and whatnot. It's just such a division between shifts. Well, I think it's, in a way, it's because the way the corporate system is set up, you have your own little group, you have your own little team, and everybody works for that one person in their team who's that team leader, who then has to appease to the next leader it's very faceless.
Do you think then that maybe management, so let's say if I bring a manager into my business to manage whatever aspect of the business, they get to a point where they don't want that accountability because their salary tops of that, and they go, well, I've got no stake in the game. Why should I solve the problem?
Yeah. Why do you think I went into self-employment? Most managers are cowards. It's you go, I don't want to generalize, but
getting paid
to do as little as possible.
Yeah.
Slice. Is that an issue then?
That's just touching up on. That's one of the reasons why a lot of Formula One teams that I'm aware of right now are struggling with getting enough supervising position filled up. Because people don't want to step up and take that accountability for a little extra reward. But I also think is that also tied to the time in the world that we're experiencing right now, where people just go, what is the point of investing all this time and energy into this place and bringing on all this responsibility where the society around us is crumbling, whilst a lot of people will try and look past that. It is the truth.
We reward the people that are selfish, or reward the people that will step on other people to get higher and higher and higher.
We do, yeah, but that's just always been a societal thing, though, hasn't it? I don't think the power corrupts people. I think the people who try to exploit that power easily find themselves in those positions. Right. But that's a little bit off topic of the accountability. But you know what these tangents are like.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's bring it down back to us, because we are contractors and we have our own game. We have our own perspective and maybe targets to achieve and whatnot. So do you think that highly skilled professional then they remain stuck into maybe selling time instead of outcomes? What do you think of that?
Do you know what I'll say to that? Composite union, where is it? Workers' union, selling your time and your energy for peanuts, really, compared to what the profit margins are. And more so, it's less about the money, it's more about the time and how much of that time is being rewarded and how much of the time is being required, not even on the outcome, as you say. It's almost like it's just a slop. It's as long as they can tell the people sitting above them in the shareholders in the boardrooms that we've got people sat here doing nothing, but as long as they're sat there and they can show them on the paper, we've got this many people for this many hours. It's a numbers game. It's a time game rather than now a productivity game and a final finish and product game. It's about the time. How much time can we, squeeze out of these people? Like, yeah, it doesn't, like you say, it doesn't add up.
Yeah. Well, about corporate and the people on boards, I can say one thing, and I had a recent conversation with someone that gave me a little bit of an insight on the problem. So they built a company, a small company of composites, and a group came along who acquired them, but acquired them into the group as another arm of that group, right? And they became managers instead of owners in their own business. So they are basically being downgraded.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they are getting bills every month and saying, "Oh, well, what's that money for?" And it wasn't peanuts; it was big money. So it was thousands and thousands every month. And they explained it. Well, we come once a month here to make sure that things are run properly. And basically, they were sitting in the office, having in the boardroom, having a conversation between themselves, and being on the phone, and having lunch, going in and out for the day, and that's it. And then charge the company. So basically, move money from one company to another company within the group, making it look like, oh well,
a business is being done.
We're having profits over here, but basically, it's taking the profits from the actual business that was making it into some other part of the group, and then probably
tax-free movement of money as well.
What I would assume then end up in the pockets of the CEOs and all the other board members.
Yeah.
Which is what?
How much of it do they need is a question as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the limit of it? Because like I saw a clip recently in the 70s, it was 20 times an average person's salary a CEO would take home. Now it's 120 times. How much? How much more do we need before we also realise
I suppose it's got to do with inflation, because if you look in the early, I want to see.
That's all planned as well.
Yeah, if you look into it, an average house like this, a 2 or 3 bed house for a family, would be paid in an income.
Yeah.
So one person's income, because the woman would. I'm not saying it should be that way. I'm saying that's how it used to be. Would stay at home.
Yeah.
The mother would stay at home, and the dad would be at work, and would manage to pay all that from one side.
Exactly.
Where today that's impossible, because now an average house, it's 10 times the income.
But we're normalising. This is the problem.
From 2 to 3, it went.
Yeah.
No,
mate, 100%. Yeah. But the problem is we normalise it now. We go, I'm grafting, I'm smashing the hours. Yeah, but what have you got to show for it? Where are we, as a society? We shouldn't have to work your hands to the bone to just get by, to just,
So would you say then that contractors have any leverage, or do they believe that they have any leverage?
I think as you let the actions of the current world play out, I think they'll have more and more leverage is what I think. And I can already see that, because there's less and less contractors here in the UK. There's less and less well-skilled people to go amongst these F1 teams, which was had another one. There's less and less actually truly skilled people doing this job. And the companies will be desperate eventually for contractors, and that goes all around Europe. And I think it will happen because there's only so few laminators, so few trimmers, you know what I mean? And it's hard to get into this industry, so you haven't got as many people popping into the industry as you have in various other ones, like, I don't know, for example, welding, etc. So
you think there's not enough trades
inflow of people? I think
people being trained into the trade to get skilled, and then
I think the demand for people is going to become. I feel like I can already see it. Like, demand for contractors is just slowly rising, in a sense, for good, reliable contractors. So they have a little bit more barter in terms of, you take from there, but you give to there. You have a little bit of a, at least I'm noticing, a little bit more of a close personal relationship with these team and management of the teams, slightly different to what the permanent employees do, which isn't anything wrong with that. But for some reason, the permanent employees seem to sometimes resent it and not understand that they could just go and become contractors tomorrow if they wanted to.
Well, to be honest, the supplier that I'm working with, I think they had a couple of other permanent staff now that they became contractors.
Is it?
So they stayed with the company, they haven't left, but they just switched.
Yeah.
They went into contracting, and they said, well, I'll go and contract, and then at some point I'll go and contract in Europe or some other company.
Smart.
And I think at least the bigger companies, they see that the economics, the labor economics at the minute, they're not they're not favoring them, and they go, why should I have all the responsibility? Again, it comes down to the responsibility with having so many full-time employees and, paying everything. National insurance went up, the tax and the VAT went up, paying them as well, it went up as well. So they go, well, I have less responsibility, and then when the project or the contract is finished, I don't need to keep them.
And once you leave the
I'm
door,
saving money.
you're removed.
So I'm saving money, because if they got as well full-time employees, they got a lot more rights than the contractors have. So I think in that way, companies see the benefit of having more contractors actually at the minute than having. But now, what I meant by leverage, I think, because we all work at some point or in some sort of relationship with an agent or an agency. So do you think you have leverage working in that way, or you think you'd have more leverage maybe working direct?
Personally, I would have much rather worked directly, because you can build up a much better relationship with a person that you are working with exactly on the spot than with some third-party person trying to merge the relationship together. But I think a lot of people don't look into those avenues. I think that is still a possibility. That's something I've done myself. That was a couple of years ago now, but that is something I've done myself. I directly contacted the company rather than going through.
I just had tea all over myself.
There you go. Happens to us all.
Okay, so it's only on the spot.
There you go.
And yeah, well, again, I
With my Alpines.
It's car socks.
Car socks.
Well, obviously, this for me is not just a podcast. Obviously, I'm trying to build a media company behind the podcast, obviously. And at the minute, as you probably know, it's only sponsored by my own limited company. So, in other words, sponsored by myself.
Get on board, sponsors, if you're watching.
But I did have some conversations with a couple of agents and agencies, and there is, I don't know if you have the same perspective, but there seems to be this sense of security somehow, or self-belief, or whatever they would like to call it, that yeah, bro, I don't need you, we're good, we're cool. Because they kind of grasped a little bit of advertising on Facebook. So obviously the majority of contractors, they come through the usual channel,
Composite
Network, which is
Facebook group.
Our Facebook group on composites, on Formula One.
There's like a good few thousand people in there, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like 40,000 or something crazy.
Yeah, but because the pool is limited, it's like a small lake. It's not the whole sea, right? And because they advertise on there and they get most of their leads, us, to work for them from there, they think that maybe having someone like myself, who maybe I am not positioned right up there yet, as in a media company, as in advertising or sponsorships or whatever it may be, and they think, oh well, no, not really. We don't need someone to advertise for us or to do anything that actually they think they can do. And in fact, most of the composites companies that I've been in touch with, and obviously I don't know if you go to the NAC, to Birmingham.
No.
To the composite show, to the engineering.
Must admit, no.
So
no.
I'm
a little bit removed from
it. I missed the last year, but I have been for the past few years. And every time that I go, companies pay you don't even want to know. So I've got codes because in the background, as you know, I told you last time, I'm building a couple of carbon composite products, and I'm interested in having a little booth
stand,
in the engineering show, and the prices are insane.
I can imagine.
For the 3 days that you're going to be there, the prices are insane. And what I'm trying to say is a show like that, it can open doors. No,
Of course.
I've got nothing against them, and I love to go there.
You probably
and
have
see
some good
what's-
conversations there.
Yeah.
You know.
And I love to go and see and talk to other people and see what's going on. But it's 3 days, and you don't get anything, as in you get a couple of videographers that now they going around and they filming, like I did myself in the past. I took Ivan with me, and he was behind me with the camera, and I have a couple of interviews with a couple of people. But again, people went like, "Oh, well, doing all this, we don't need sponsorship, we don't need advertising, we don't need."
It's a great illusion. Soon enough, that will run out for them.
Don't realize that, for example, what we're doing here, podcast, can be a very good rocket launch pad for your business. Not just having an ad, like people on TikTok now, they have those silly ads where someone comes along and they sell those things to click the basket, the orange or the yellow basket or whatever, and they don't realize the potential they got and they're missing.
But one thing I would just say up on that, I think a lot of these media companies, a lot of these agencies, they're so outdated in the way they do their things. If I was, what do you call it? They give advice to businesses. Consultant. If I was a consultant, straight away there was a business I saw on YouTube video pop up the other day, and they were talking about don't take an advice through a maid down the pub. I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong, nobody my age goes to the pub anymore because first of all they can't afford the pub. Exactly.
They don't have the time to go to
exactly. Or they haven't got time to go to the pub, or they're out to buy a couple of tinnies down Tesco's and go and drink at home because it's cheaper and more efficient. So that phrase alone,
it happened during the pandemic, those jobs were with the neighbor and the fence and trying to do that.
Exactly, bro.
I think that's when the switch happened.
But that alone, if they change their strategy and try and approach the human being from a perspective of, no, we know what people have gone through, we know where the society's at, and I try and get a bit more in touch.
I mean, I don't know what sort of pubs people would go these days, but I don't know what a pub. Maybe you, Holly. But
I've not been to a pub in a long time.
Probably like 5 or 6, 7, 8 quid for a pint.
£5.50 in Banbury for a pint of what is it, San Miguel or something like that. £5.50. That's extortionate. I remember when it was 50 euro cents in Slovakia for a pint of beer.
Yeah, but have you seen what they've done to the pubs now? Because now they have to pay something like 125 grand.
They killed that industry. They've killed the entire industry.
They have to raise their prices up.
But
they are forced to do so.
But to be honest, it's the entire alcohol industry. They lost something like £800 billion or something like that in the last few years because people stopped drinking alcohol. And good on them. Good on them.
Is it healthy to drink alcohol?
What do you think? What do you think?
Well, I don't know.
Give us some numbers.
In fairness, so when I worked in oncology, there was a fair few people that were still drunk, and still once I left there, they were still surviving. I think spirit is the thing that will carry you through, but stick to your 14 units, please.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my advice.
But it's true. Some people do live to like the age of 100.
Chain smoking.
And they ask, "What you got?" I've been drinking wine every night for the last like 60 years.
Self-belief. It's a powerful thing.
Yeah, definitely. Also, probably what kind of alcohol you're drinking. If you're smashing like 80%, spirits every night.
There's some people that are like invincible, I tell you.
Yeah, but to be fair, Alex is from Eastern Europe. Well, post-Eastern Europe. I don't want to call it Eastern Europe too much. I keep getting slated for it.
It's Eastern Europe.
I know. I keep getting slated for it though because people are like,
close. We are very close to Mother Russia. Call it that. Put it that.
In a way, yeah, in a way.
Well, we used to be back in the 80s.
Iron Curtain, because that's when it was still East and West, whereas obviously nowadays I keep getting slated because it is central technically. But yeah, anyway, regardless, they go crazy over there, don't they? Whenever I'm over there on like a little village, it goes insane. Like home distilled spirits and everything. Yeah. It's dangerous levels.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the whole picture. It's the whole picture.
My stepdaughter there, Holly, she can attest to that. I have a little bottle somewhere, and everyone call it my little. I don't know, a wee bottle. It's a water bottle.
Yeah.
And it's a different word in this country for wee, but anyway, I don't want to say that on camera.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
It looks like that, but if you taste that,
it'll send you sleeping.
No, let's put it this way: more than 1 unit.
Let's bring it in. Come on.
Let's
finish the tea. Let's bring it.
I want to walk.
Where is it? Is it down there? Is it? Oh, okay.
What is it?
Do you want to try?
I'll try it.
Okay.
I'm not driving.
I'm definitely not trying that.
See, we're just sipping.
There we go.
We're just
Content.
sipping.
You can't drive after that because your breath is gonna feel on your breath.
Okay.
There's a little couple of small.
I'm a spirit drinker. So what is it? Is it?
It's a spirit. that is
Okay.
homemade.
Is it fruit distilled?
Yes.
So like they do like plums, they do.
I welcome
Yeah,
all.
even potato and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yes.
It's alright, it's alright.
The video man has to move.
It's all good.
Everything has to be moved now.
It's alright, we got.
Yeah. So while that's happening in the background, let's see.
It's alright.
Just prepare myself.
Let me ask you a question that will hopefully give you some thought about. Looking back, what would you do different if you were to start again?
No regrets. I'm a girl of no regrets. You're.
How. Start again in what? In sense of, are we still on the composite topic or are we now talking
Yeah.
global?
Oh, okay.
Okay. When it comes
Because you've seen definitely I live, and I know myself sometimes it happens. A lot of talented people that they burn out, right?
Absolutely.
So and we all know what's causing. Yeah, there's little glasses inside the actual whiskey glasses. You're gonna see there's like little shot glasses. If you look in there, I'm sure you're gonna see them.
It does look very ominous.
Yeah, there's a.
Yeah,
I am
some- it's
not-
apple
I'm not
juice.
doing that.
yeah, it does look like.
Let's sniff. We sniff it.
Yeah, I will sniff it.
Okay.
I'll sniff it. But do you know what? I'll tell you, just as like a little response to that.
Yeah,
There we go. Let's try that.
yeah. That's just a little tiny short. Just the opening.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I feel like it's going to take me into another dimension.
I don't know if he's gonna take him.
Oh God, hello.
Oh bloody
But
hell!
watch, you might want to. Because
I'll sip it. I'll sip it. I'll sip it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
These are very nice glasses. I'm not going to take all of this.
No, just have a little
Sip.
sip.
Okay,
Just have a little sip. Here we go. Is the moment on camera?
Nail varnish remover.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's have a little smell. Okay, that's pretty.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. I'll have a little sip.
It's actually all right, is it?
Yeah, it's fine.
There you go.
That's what I've had far worst.
There you go.
I'm someone that I'm not.
Oh, I'm driving.
But you don't have to drink it all.
It's a warmer. It's a nice warmer.
I'm not driving. I'm taking a scooter. I'm e-scootering back.
That's not too bad.
I've had similar stuff before. Yeah. That tastes like home distilled.
This is what we call in my country suika,
Okay.
or is basically homemade raki.
Like rakia, like they have in Serbia and all those countries.
It's
Okay.
a homemade raki, basically. It's what we call suika.
Okay.
So it's made out of either plums. It can be made of potato as well.
Yeah.
So you can have a vegetable as
It's
well.
very warming. I feel so warm.
Oh, you can be
will
drinking
feel-
this
if you
outside.
drink that, you will feel very warm.
But it's meant to be, right? Like, obviously cold in the winter when you're out, like, the Christmas
What
market.
would you pair it with anything, or you just
Pair it with anything, as in food.
no, like other mixers?
No,
Okay,
no,
straight.
So just like that, straight.
Okay.
In Slovakia, you would eat that with like a
You'd eat
toast
it?
bread and a sausage. Sorry, don't eat the glass. You would drink that with like you know, like kielbasa, like klobasa, like a sausage, like a smoked cured sausage on bread with onion, and you have like shots of that in between.
Yeah,
It's a blokey dish.
Well, if you get off the table, then you're not going to go very far. You're just going to crash somewhere else.
Yeah, but that's the fun of it, isn't it? That's the experience.
What percent is it? Do you know? No idea. Okay.
Because we home distilled, they don't really.
It's homemade, so I don't think anyone measures it. Really.
That's true.
Probably 60 and above.
Yeah, something like that. It's 40 and above normally. It depends on, because we have the first distill, second distill, and third. And when it's third, it's normally, half water, half whatever.
Right.
So it's not. But if it comes pure, sometimes the first distill you get 70 degrees.
Bloody hell. Yeah.
Quite slow. Yeah.
I'd have that with like ginger beer, extra warmth.
Would you?
Yeah,
I'll get
extra
hold of some home distilled brews, don't you worry. When we go to Slovakia, I can get hold of those, don't you worry.
So, okay.
It's not as good as the French £4.
Oh,
€4.
basically, this was New Year's. We're in France. We went to Dunkirk and we went to buy just a cheap little. We wanted to have a shot at midnight or whatnot.
Bit of pineapple juice.
Yeah, and we went out to the beach to see the fireworks. So we thought we were going to have a cocktail, pineapple juice with a bit of rum. So we found the most horrible cheap rum in a glass flask, but it was like sealed in plastic and in cardboard.
Like it was a toy.
Yeah, like a toy. Honestly, the worst thing I ever drank. It's awful. I still have it in my fridge now. I don't. I just don't want to throw
That's the
it
reserves.
out. That's the reserve.
It gets real bad.
That's when my pet car runs out of petrol. That's why I'm going to put that in. It'll probably still run. That's how bad that is.
If your car's petrol, it would probably run on
It probably would run on that, to be honest. Yeah. No joke. It probably would run because there'll be there'll be a certain ethanol number in that, won't it? So. That's what happens when they distill too much and there's too high ethanol content, and that's when people go blind. There was like a thingy in the mid 2000s in Slovakia when you home distill your brew and you burn. It's something to do with burning it too much and too much ethanol leaks into it. You will go blind because it literally it's too much ethanol content.
For rubbing it in your eyes, how does it?
You don't rub it, you drink it, and you'll go blind. That's how powerful it is. That's how powerful ethanol is supposed to be.
But yeah, probably.
Yeah, there was a big thing in Slovakia in like 2008.
Your eyes aren't even linked to your digestion, though.
No, but I promise you, somehow it sends you blind. Allegedly, that's what I thought.
Oh, it's like a wives' tale.
We're gonna have to investigate.
Yeah.
Listen, listen. I'm not saying anything, but if you want to find out, go online. Go Google it right now. Why not?
Let's bring Wiki back. We need to support Wiki again.
Exactly. Get on Yahoo.
We could possibly see if while I'll do this. What about? So you say no regrets? Yeah, you wouldn't change anything.
One thing I would say, actually, on just to touch up on that topic real quick, it would be less scared. Just to do what I was doing, but just do it more. Do it earlier. Do it to more of a. Invest myself into it quicker in terms of like when I first went to do that first contract in Germany, 18 months after I trained up. I should have done that after 10 months. I felt confident already then.
Invest in more coins.
Invest in more coins. So I've started investing in silver and gold, which we can talk about a bit later, and I've been buying up coins. So that's one of my things. But I would also say maybe emotionally invest myself a little bit less into each contract that I was doing and realise that I can't change the entire mindset of a company and the entire process by myself. I'm just a contractor at the end of the day. Yeah. So maybe that as well, and not burn myself out because of that.
So then you think that culture has a lot to do in our own industry and how companies run, basically?
I think that's got almost everything to do with how pads come out,
what quality the pads are. Something to do with why people change jobs in companies so often?
Majority of the reasons will be that. I would have, but from my reasons personally, it's never, for me personally, it's never the money. Right. Because money is across the board reasonably similar in most of these F1 teams.
Yeah, it's a pound or two different.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the atmosphere and the environment. That's the number one reason.
So the culture within the company is what has the most impact on 100%. If people stay or go.
100%. And also on the success of a Formula 1 team, which I haven't worked in enough Formula 1 teams, only a handful of them. But I haven't worked in all of them to be able to tell the difference in all of the cultures. But from what I have seen, I have been to have a look at certain teams and how they're run, and even just walking around their facilities. Yeah. You see that the culture delivers wins. Like Mercedes, for example, up in Brackley. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I have seen the site and it is next level. It is like next level. You see why they are succeeding. But I can imagine the culture and the atmosphere when you're walking around these corridors, you see it's a lot more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the line, sort of like in the line, how would I say?
Fair point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because, well, for myself, obviously, a lot of the F1 teams being under IR35 regulations, this is a personal choice. It's got nothing to do with teams in particular. It's just because of the regulation, I refuse to work.
You just hate them all. I'm joking.
I hate
F1.
I hate IR35 because it limits us as contractors, as entrepreneurs, as businesses, as whatever you want to call it. It's completely limiting because why should I work through an umbrella company who's transferring all their funds to the Bermuda Islands or to the Jersey Islands and not paying any tax in UK, when all their core business is in UK. So they're going to hire me and they're going to double charge me on the national insurance number, double charge me on the tax as well. And then, I come out worse than a full-time employee.
100%. But the worst thing is,
Do you know what I mean? As in, probably a full-time employee, if I'm honest, working on the 40 hours a week, just the 40 hours block, right? We're not taking in consideration weekends, bank holidays, overtime, double time, none of that. Just the basic 40 hours a week, basic salary. I'd say after your tax, after your national insurance number, and after all your expense, you're probably better off being an employee than being a contractor.
Maybe, yeah. This country definitely has shafted contractors, let's be honest.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I refuse to work under IRA 35 rules.
Yeah, I
understand that they have budgets and they have to limit themselves within those budgets. But this regulation has brought on, for myself, speaking for me personally and my business, has brought on more restrictions than the bloody communists have. Almost. Do you know what I mean? Because
100%.
You got more than what is it? What's the threshold? Is it
45? I think.
Yeah, but also at the same time, I think if you got more than 5 million a year or whatever the return, or 50 staff, it's 50 staff and 5 or 10 million a year turnaround. Not what you actually earn in the turnaround or over turnover. That's it. You inside Area 35.
Yeah.
And also because they don't want to be looked into, they choose to deem you under Area 35.
Yeah.
So my whole business can be classed inside Area 35 because that company doesn't want to be looked into and doesn't want, in front of HMRC, they want to be like, oh, we're squeaky clean, nothing to see here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, then I won't do it. I refuse to do it.
One question.
I choose personally the companies I'm working with.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and choose with that company, whether it's for a month or for 3 months. I'm going to choose and then move on to the next, and so be it.
Yeah.
In a way, I think it's keeping a healthy, circle with people moving around within the company.
And also suppliers, it keeps them alive to a point.
And you're not being bound to one single place.
Yeah.
And like you say, that supplier has a healthy amount of people.
Yeah.
That,
We do also need to, in a way, invest in the industry in that way.
Treatment. Let's face it, we all prefer to work with XYZ companies and we think that's better than that one.
Yeah,
but
100%.
then some would be left out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people will go, well, I don't want to work there.
Yeah.
Because whether it's too far or whether the conditions are not good enough or whatever. But at the same time, I think, well, then be competitive.
Yeah.
Then, improve your facilities.
100%. 100%.
Improve your, your culture.
It's a small industry. Word goes around. Word goes around. There's so many companies.
Yeah.
We can have a chat off camera. I don't want to name any names, but companies that contractors have worked for, which they didn't have the best experiences, and it's been going on for years. And every contractor I bump into says the exact same thing about a specific company.
Yeah.
This goes around. These things go around. There's a reason why that company doesn't hire contractors at all now, just trainees and stuff like that. Word goes around, karma goes around. No matter what industry it is, karma goes around. But one thing I would say, just to touch up on the IR35, why do I have to be placed under rules that the powers to be aren't placed under? They haven't got IR35. They can get away with buying 7 houses at once without paying any property tax. Why do I not get away with doing something that is within the regulations? IR35 and having your own accountant and having certain things offset against your business, that's not illegal. There's nothing illegal about that.
Well, because I don't want to give any names of politicians, though I know personally a few of them, because they pop up around the news every now and then if you look carefully and you see, and on social media as well. But, politicians, they're very similar to ourselves, to contractors.
Mm-hmm.
So besides them being having maybe a ministerial job or maybe being an MP somewhere in some constituency, they can give their own insights into your business, for example.
Mm.
So you can hire them for a fee to come and give you whatever insights you're looking for, right? And it shouldn't be the case, in my eyes. So if you got a job, we had in Romania, we had this problem with the ex-president. He had 2 mandates. In Romania, it's 5 years mandates. It's a bit different. So he's been at the helm of the country for the past 10 years. Before they chose this one, because we had a big problem with cancelling elections.
Yeah, the whole social media thing. I have learned up about it a little bit, actually.
That's a big kind of worm.
It's very interesting, though. I've been watching a lot of videos of it.
But yeah, the ex-president, he was a teacher. So he was university dean, and he wanted to have both. So he wanted to have a slice of the both, and they said, no, you either being a president or you being a dean. You can't.
Because you get boxed in.
Yeah, you can't have both.
But some can be actors and then become president. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I know. But I think if you're already going to have pension for the rest of your life, you're going to have diplomatic immunity for the rest of your life. So no one can touch you, basically, you're untouchable.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
You can't be brought on into court, into certain matters, and be judged for things you've done while you were in a mandate.
That's the only reason they want to be presidents in Eastern European countries, to get the immunity.
Yeah, you get your immunity, and why should you dip into something else while you're having that position? So it's not fair. But like you said earlier, so they can come into your, there's a certain specific politician. I think he was a prime minister at one point. He was charging about £90,000 to a specific newspaper in the UK. For what, a days or 2 days or 3 days worth of work.
And you know what? Can I just say what the worst thing about that is? That newspaper is probably owned by someone who will specifically pay that person in order to say exactly what the person running the media company wants them to say. That's the saddest thing about it.
Exactly.
And then that way, the money just moves around one secret society circle in a way.
For them, if he goes into a big multinational or whatever corporation, and they get hired for 2 weeks and they get their 100 grand, it's perfectly fine, because they know they're not going to be there for more than that time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I don't think it's ever going to impact them. IR35.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I see exactly.
So
yeah, 100%.
They create laws that serve them, not serving us.
And those laws, the next elected government will change those laws anyway for the next elected government to change it. But that's a part of the game. You keep changing the rules and resetting the game to keep resetting people.
So the goalpost is always moving.
The goalpost is always moving. This is what I keep saying by why I think so many people are checking out, because they realise the curtains have now dropped. And whether it's with the war around the world and what's going on, or with media and with salience techniques in the media, I think people are seeing that just pure work and effort and go to school and, just listen and go to university, it doesn't work, because the goalposts will keep getting moved, because that way the powers to be can be threatened in their cushy red chairs.
Okay, so I'm going to come back to us.
Yeah.
Because I think of the idea or the talk that I shouldn't be looking too much of what other people are doing, but more what I need to do and what I'm doing.
Of course.
Stay in your own lane.
That's what she always says. Definitely.
Focus onto my goal, what I need to do. So not worry. Even at work, this happens a lot in our industry. A lot of people care more with what other people around them than
and lose their whole life.
Supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Just to say, I've literally have a joke with some people like, I'm going to send you my timesheet. You can do that for me. I don't need to fill that out myself.
So it's a bit of their mindset. But have you ever seen people undermine their own credibility by trying too hard to look successful rather than work? Actually put the actual work in,
because there is a difference. I see it in the industry. There is looking busy. There is actually being busy.
It's in every industry.
It is.
I just had a reel the other day.
Yeah. I just think people that look the most successful are usually the least spiritually.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think.
So how would you define success? Because for me, this is how all this started. I've asked a question to someone at a certain gig.
Yeah.
It's on my for people who wanna say it. It's on my YouTube and Instagram, and it's actually someone that's got about 70 million followers now, and he's a stage presenter.
Okay.
Was the first person that I asked this question, and it was what does success mean to you? So I'll ask you the same question.
Needing nothing.
You needing nothing.
Yeah.
I like that. That's like peace,
Yeah.
freedom.
And then everything that comes towards you is a gift.
Achieve that?
Trying to live without nothing, which I'm slowly doing. Materialism. Anything that you can lose it, because you will eventually.
And I think, in a way, just to touch up on
You
that,
will lose your life.
Well, you get older.
Eventually,
Things slowly.
you will die.
Yeah.
You will lose that as well.
The most empowering thing is to let go, though, early, and then you've got no fear.
that's why I think, for me personally, and we had this chat in the car on the way here, legacy doesn't have a meaning to me, because eventually I will be gone from this earth. My name will be erased from this earth. Anything I ever built will be erased and forgotten on this earth. And I'm fine with that. It's a piece of time that I had on this planet that I can share with lovely people around us, share some thoughts, share some knowledge, or
But this could be legacy.
it could be.
Yeah.
It could be. And I'm happy for that to be. I hope it is.
Maybe
But don't live for legacy.
100 years from now, someone's going to watch it on
Yeah.
a glass
Yeah.
iPad or something.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's going to go, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that they thought that way.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, they were looking
That
back
could
on
be
that.
legacy for someone.
Yeah, look, anything you touch can be legacy. Do you know what I mean? But I think just in general, like when it comes to kids, when it comes to massive, like building a massive brand or a business, the reason why for me personally, it was never a goal to have a massive company or a massive business is because I just want the peace and freedom. I want peace and freedom and enough. That's why I try and live my, like Beth
Life
said.
is so simple.
Yeah, and
when you
there's
boil it
so
down.
little that we like. I say in the exact same way with Beth, like I try and make my life so simple and basic that I need so little, whether that's monetary income or whatever, just to be able to have the autonomy of my own power. Because I think nowadays, with the rug of safety being pulled from under our feet and the freedom being pulled from under our feet around the world with what we see going on, I think people are starting to realise they need to take a bit of that autonomy back, because very easily the cards can change.
Right.
Well, it's where it all started, though. We are all creatures still, and then we forget all of these systems have been put in place to sort of pull us away from that. But we've all got that instinctive. We just want to be outside, connected, simply focusing on food, mating, getting by. It's simple.
At the end of the day,
We are animals and we forget it.
it's just that we really easily like to put a price on a human life, isn't it? Because it is, isn't it?
So, in your view, right, is ever image going to compensate for maybe the lack of competence? Do you think that's going
Give me an example.
So, I'm not going to look further away from home. I'm going to look inwards to myself. So let's say me, right? I drive that big car outside, and that's image. That to me is image.
Yeah.
Right, is part of who I am as well, of the mentality I've got, and maybe the things I would like to achieve in life. So, being competent is more important than the image, or is the image more important than being competent?
Competency always matters.
Always matters.
Always, yeah.
For me, I just to say, I think it depends who you want to impress with your competency and with your image. Politicians, to an extent, they have to impress in order to get the votes to appear like they are, you know.
There's two ways of impressing. So when I say I want to impress you, I say it in the way I want to swipe you off your feet and, you fall back.
I'll leave the room.
I want to impress upon you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do you see the difference? So for me, I don't want to impress anyone, because if I were to impress, I think in 43, I'm going to be 44 this year. In 43 years of age, I think I've achieved things that other people probably haven't left their own village.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
They've
100%.
been sat there for all their life and
Yeah.
they don't know anything else. And I don't have any need to impress anyone with whether it's at financial level, at professional level, or the things I have. Because, like you say, things can be very easily swiped and taken away. But I want to impress upon.
Why?
Because I think, like we mentioned, all the things that I see in life, they all interlinked and interconnected. And whether we like it or not, what we call this experience life, especially when you get to have children, you realize that it's not just, let them and do whatever you want and sit in a corner. And so I've got 18 years old that is not here, obviously, for different reasons, but we're not going to get into that.
Shout out, by the way, if you're watching. say hello.
So he's turned 18 on the 28th last month.
Happy birthday.
Last day of the month, and I've got 7 years old. And I've always tried to impress upon them, as in with the things that I value.
Does it not all still lead back to ego, though?
Everything leads back to ego,
Yeah,
because that's why you have children in the first place. You want
Thank you for the honest answer.
to carry on, because you
Yeah.
know you're not.
Yeah.
You're gonna
I like
die
that,
one
yeah,
day.
that's
You're
true.
not immortal.
Yeah.
If we would be immortal, we probably would lose ego.
Yeah,
That was the
need
question.
ego to survive.
Forever.
That was the question we had in the car.
We live forever,
Wasn't
so
it?
you lose ego because you are immortal.
Yeah.
We need ego to survive. That's what it is.
You don't have a finite time in space, on this earth or whatever, that you can be bound to. So you move through time forever, and you can do whatever you like. There's no consequence. So ego doesn't matter anymore.
And that's what ego death is.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Because whether you kill, whether you be killed, whether it doesn't
It's
matter.
still from I.
It's like you were in a respawn game. You die, but then you certainly back alive. It's like, oh, he stabbed me. Oh, but I'm still alive. Oh, he, whatever the case it may be. But do you know what I mean? So whatever happens to self, it doesn't have an impact anymore, because you can't die. It probably become a curse because you want to die at one point.
Quick pause before we continue. One of the reasons I started BizTalk with Alexandru was because I realized there are thousands of incredibly skilled people and businesses doing amazing work every day, and hardly anyone knows they exist. The reality is that being great at what you do is no longer enough. People need to know who you are, what you stand for, and also why they should trust you. That's why we built this platform, to create conversations and to create visibility. Now, to connect ambitious people with other ambitious people is required a certain amount of hard work and labor. Whether you are an engineer company or a manufacturing service business or a founder building something meaningful, there may be opportunities for us to work together. So if you're curious about partnerships, collaborations, podcasts, appearances, or simply starting a conversation, then reach out. Now back to the episode.
You would be like, well, I've seen everything, I've done everything, I'm bored now. When's the time going to come? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think, at least I'm thinking this way.
Yeah. It's a great, We had a chat in the car, didn't we? And I said, I'll leave your answer for later on.
What was
And
the
it
question?
was, do you think the world would be better or worse if we feared death more?
It's a tough one to answer. I thought about this for a while.
There's pros and cons to both, isn't there?
Yeah.
But you can answer later.
I've seen a series recently, and this series, basically people were given. I can't recall exactly what the name of it, but people were coming with like from the sky or like a projection, and they were given a prediction with a time and a date when they will die. So people would know they die, and they couldn't escape because these beasts, these creatures would appear out of nothing and would come and get them. So what they've done, they made a show out of it. So whenever someone would have that premonition, then they'd go to their social media feed or whatever, and they'd post it.
Oh, I know what this is. I can't remember what it's called.
I can't remember the name, and it doesn't really matter for the purposes of the conversation. But they made a big, and then you'd had a religious group that was all, very, what religions are and the way they are normally,
Belief systems.
Yeah, so very ingrained into that, and they had all these rules, and they believed that if those rules were met, then these people then wouldn't,
They build their worth upon it.
Yeah. And then they were the other ones that they were like the anarchists, that they wanted to do all and everything because they knew they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you end up with a black and white society that you got people.
So basically the same.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of, in a way.
No, I think it'd be worse because the rule of law would disappear.
I think
Have any
more reckless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one would have any regards for the rule. Well, the man rule of law.
So
we're all just behaving right now.
Legislations.
In a way, this is a game of pretend, if you think.
Yeah.
In a way.
You know the consequences. You go to jail, you go to prison.
Freedom is stripped in some way.
Yeah, exactly.
Or other places, death penalty, depending on whatever your infraction is, whatever you do.
I think we're a lot more animalistic, and this is just in
unnatural.
A way, like the fact that we wear clothes, we go to work, all of this stuff, like it is, how will I say, it's curtains that will separate you from actual animals. You know what I mean? It's very
Bringing it back down.
It went too high. Okay. So reducing friction, comfort, the quiet space. Does this sound a bell to you?
No.
No?
No.
Less friction, less demand, maybe more freedom.
What, self-employment?
No, not necessarily. No? In general.
In regards to what?
In regards to everything, to life. Do you think friction is something that...
Friction's inevitable, though. You can't... Okay. Yeah, there's always going to be a challenge. There's always going to be resistance.
Yeah.
It's
the same sort of... It's the same
I think it's... Everything in life, this is one little epiphany I had last year, was everything in life is about balance. You can have too much even of a good thing. So if you're... Like, look at lockdown. If you have too much comfort, we become too insular, we become really disconnected. If we're completely out there, we become animalistic, we become, there's more and more hierarchy. So everything, I think, is just always... Life is basically this battle of, bit too much that way, bit too much this way.
Okay.
Do you think that as people are becoming more aware, do you think that the planet is getting more lawless and is getting more...
I hope it is, but I don't know. I think people like comfort too much.
I also mean it in the negative way of lawless, as in human life matters less,
Yeah. Everything's a lot more disposable.
Exactly. It's a lot more disposable. People have a shorter temper.
Yeah.
Exposable, yeah. People have a shorter temper as well. And I just think, personally, I don't know what you think, but I personally think that is the case from what I've personally witnessed around.
Okay. Well, perspective, but we're going to be here all day otherwise.
I'll share yours though, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So I think personally friction is everywhere, in the air, in the water. You can't avoid friction, and especially us as human beings, you sometimes rub the next person next to you, your co-worker, your friend, the wrong way. One day maybe very very good mood, and you think life it's all a bunch of roses, and everything goes well for you, and the next everything goes against you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think learning to deal,
It's resilience.
learning to deal with friction, learning to deal with difficulties.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what creates what is that saying that what everyone likes to call it now, stoic men.
Stoic, yeah, of course. It is dealing with failure, with shortcomings, because you're always going to walk into them. And this is the thing, like, I want to be able to choose my own challenges, choose my own problems. Everybody will have problems no matter what. You can be born a billionaire in the most cushy position in the world, and you still will have problems of your own, right? But I want to have the freedom of choosing my own problems.
So
That's what I want. Like,
Okay.
my
I don't
own
think
problems
that's
will be looking
possible.
after a fam.
I don't think that's possible.
That's going to be a bit complicated.
I mean, just to touch up on that, just in terms of, for example, choosing my problem being, I'm less tied down to the societal norm, the societal norms, the societal laws placed on us, like the made up taxes, being triple taxed for certain things. I would much rather my problem being waking up at 4 a.m. every day, feeding the chickens. I would rather choose my own problems.
Well,
in a way.
talking about, I've worked with him in 2 companies now. He went to Portugal, and he bought a bit of land, and he started planting olives.
Smart guy.
He's got a little olive plantation.
Smart, yeah.
And he does olive oil and stuff like
Dream
that.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
And he only contracts now, I believe, when I don't know if he's actually labeled it and done a product with it, but
Fair play,
Yeah.
yeah.
so he's gone and from busy, hectic, whatever, to exactly the opposite, 180 degrees.
I think it pushes a lot. That industry pushes a lot of people to go that way
Yeah.
because it is very loud. It is very, busy, and it is very.
It's easy to absorb.
So what's the
Yeah.
first thing? You obviously do health
Yep.
and nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you are a
I'm warm.
contractor like me. So I think my heating is gonna.
Oh, careful with your mic as well. You got
My
it on.
heating
Oh,
is
yeah.
kicked off.
Perfect.
What do you think? This is a question for both of you. What do you think gets neglected first, when, in terms of health, when work pressure increases? So when that friction, because my previous question with friction gets, when that gets increases, what do you think is the thing that gets first thing?
The first thing, your soul, but I won't go too spiritual there. But in more practical terms, time to and for yourself. Because even by going to work, you're, in a way, it might be that you're providing for your family, you're working for another company. It's just that.
But you are doing something you don't want to be doing.
Yeah, it is that.
And it takes away. It takes away.
Neglect of passion. Most people, when they're burnt out, they're just like, I've not connected with my creativity for so long.
Losing the dream.
It's that passion that just
honestly,
fizzles.
Just to maybe letting it wash you out. Like you're getting washed out by that process of, especially doing it for 20, 30 odd years. You get so washed down by that process. You become apathetic to the society. I think so many guys in the industry, that's what's happened to them. Yeah. They've become numb. They see all this stuff so often, whatever's going on around the world, horrible food, etc., bad things happening every day, and they're just so accustomed to it, they're just so numb to it, they go, I don't care about eating, I'll eat whatever.
The first thing that emerges is coping mechanisms to get through the burnout, to get through the emotional strain. Binge eating, smoking, drinking.
Yeah. The habit of smoking, definitely. I mean.
So you think having a routine is important?
Yes.
You reckon?
I think so. In this world, not in my little monkey dream world, in this world. To stop you being exploited, I think you've got to carve out. If you have to go to work, you have to carve out this number of hours. That means that in your free time, it's essential that you use that strategy as well. Yeah, I think.
I get that. So
in the ideal dream world, we'd wake up and we'd be like, oh, it's sunny out. I fancy some berries. I'll go, and it could be a lot more free flowing. Right. So I think, but if you're trying to work that intuitively around such a structured world, you are going to have friction. I
think we are two free creatures confound to societal brackets. So they put us in such tight little brackets. Humans generally want to be free.
Yeah.
And they want to be. Can I just have that bottle?
Yeah, of course.
Right, here we go.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay. So, how can someone improve their health, your health, my health, everyone's health, without over or getting busier? Let's put it that way, without overhauling their own personal life, because we all have, like you say, if you have to go to work for a certain, you don't get left with such a big block of hours, over 24. So the time that's remaining, obviously, assuming you have to sleep at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of it. Yeah.
So how would they improve their life then?
Baby steps, baby gaps in their calendar. Everyone, I don't care who you are or how busy you are, has got half an hour.
Okay.
Everyone.
So walk me through that.
What is not serving you?
Okay.
What is a waste of time? Having that honest conversation. For most people.
Scrolling. Okay, scrolling.
That's one for me as well.
I scroll a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So how do I overcome that?
Well, what do you want to welcome? What do you miss?
Everything.
When you think about your healthier self in the past?
Well, I gained a few pounds in the last few years. So the gym, as soon as I had my second son, the gym went out of the window. So it's been about 7 years now that I haven't seen the inside of a gym. That's number one.
Yeah. Start at the easiest place.
Okay.
And the place that you felt most connected to before. Everyone will be different. For some people, it'll be a case of, okay, I can't deliver like that because we're all different.
Maybe just to
we're all different.
Just to give my perspective on that, you could also make it so that you get into the gym.
Yeah.
You bring gym to you, for example, so you just get a couple of dumbbells or something like that. That 10 minutes in your spare time, you know what I mean? Like, adapt that change in your lifestyle. Like
any habit is just about reshifting that time and putting it somewhere else.
Okay.
So it's just you going, okay, I know for me, I felt more connected to myself. I felt healthier when I was moving more. Most people, all or nothing. Most people are going to start gym, I'm going to start running every day.
Yeah, because everyone's...
And then of course you're going to be burnt out.
We're in March now.
Yeah.
Month of the year.
Yeah.
And a lot of people out there, they started their New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
I'm going to get healthier this year. I'm going to stop drinking.
At the worst point in the year.
I'm going to stop smoking and I'm going to start going to the gym and I'm going to become this, this monster.
Why do you think that New Year's resolutions emerged?
I don't know.
Construct. Let's sell your product.
Great business.
At the time when you need it most, when it's winter, when it's dark, when it's... Most of us can stick to a routine easier in summertime. It's all, part of the construct. But if you wanted to, let's say,
They start looking, that's why I was asking earlier as well about image and competence, because they're two different constructs, completely different. One thing can lead you to something and the other can lead you to something completely
where my industry is slowly, image.
Can have two completely different divergence. You focus on image and you might get there. And no disrespect, a lot of people, they focus on image and they are very successful because, they look, but it's all a shell. It's all fake, right?
Hollow.
And a lot of people, they focus on competence and they're trying to be the best at their game, the best of what they do. And they have that pride, what you said, it's all me, that ego. Ego is pride, that's what it is to me. And they get completely different direction and different outcomes as well. So the way I'm looking at it is, for example, if I were to look for my image now my image is dad, 40 years old dad, with a bit of a tummy and,
Take pride in it though. What has it taught you? What has it taught you? It's so much deeper than just... That's the issue of my industry now, is because the scales are becoming more image over competence.
Well, that's what
That's what we've lost.
In a way.
They look the part, so...
I see it a lot on my scroll, on my going on. Sometimes it's not scroll aimlessly, it's on the search for ideas, because being a social media content, I don't consider myself content creator. I'm more like get bits together and build as I build along what I'm
Yeah.
personally doing. So more like documenting, if you like. And on my scroll, on what I see is a lot of people are pushing the idea that you have to have this image of, in our case, men being this big alpha, full of muscles, look healthy, six packs.
It's not real. I did a session all on
To
it this
be
week.
successful.
It's not real.
In order to be respected, to be successful.
One thing I'm
The
just
more that you believe it, the more that you're feeding into that culture, though. So I think just start to look at it and say, it is not real. I can promise you it's not real. The more that we feed into and buy into that standard, the more it's going to keep on raising.
I have what would you think?
I just was going to say one single thing. Let's just look at how many CEOs or people in this position actually are ripped and shredded. Not many. Many are overweight.
So
out
you're
of
saying
shape.
they're more millionaires that they have their tummy and their,
No, I just think
their eight packs, than a six pack.
No. I just think it's I just think it's a societal there's belief that you got to be shredded, you got to be as big as alpha male, etc. But in reality, if we actually look at what is truth, most of them aren't.
Right.
So I think it's a certain image.
I think be skeptical of anyone that lives and showcases everything online.
Because
they are.
What I've got a bit of a different mentality, a different mindset in regards to anything that I want to, like you said, habits. That if I want to adopt a new habit, so I do exercise, but in a different concept of exercising, I do all my steps at work. All night. I have my steps in. Even when I'm not, I do have a set of dumbbells as well.
Nice.
So there is a bit of exercise there. Not as much. I don't focus on the abs as much anymore. Core strength and all that.
But that's good. Just to say really quickly, just to jump in, the whole ab thing, it is such
body fat.
Exactly. Like you don't need that whole thing. There's so much importance placed on that. But you're working on your core strength. That's something that you're going to need so much more in 20 years' time,
exactly.
in
It's not
30 years'
functional.
time, than you would having abs,
And also, at the same time, I'm looking at it from the perspective is when you want to acquire a new, so you want to add something into your life that's already very busy. I'm looking at two aspects. One, is it going to serve me?
Exactly. We're reward driven.
Is it going to serve me? And in what way is it going to serve me?
Exactly. Yeah.
And the second one is I always ask myself this. Very recently, I started building this mindset. Would I like that in my life?
Yeah. Do you desire it? Is it rewarding?
Like to have it? Yeah. Because it's all about owning.
That's how we function.
It's like, oh, a new iPhone came out. Oh, a new whatever. I want it. And once there's a very good comedian I saw the other day. This was brilliant. Once you got it, it's just another thing that I added to my life. It's like, oh, I love that new car. Have you seen that new BMW or Mercedes or whatever it is, or Ferrari, or oh yeah, that's amazing. I want it. Once you got it, then it just becomes an extension of you that sits somewhere in a garage or on a driveway. And if you got 8 or 10, maybe you drive it. If you got the time, maybe you don't. Just sits there.
Need nothing, and you'll have that all the time.
Yeah. Just to say, one measure that I use for these things, like you said about phone, etc., is how much is that going to cost me? Not in money, in everything. How much is that thing going to cost me? How much of my time, how much of my freedom that I don't spend doing what I truly want to be doing, is that going to cost me? And I think, is it worth it? In 99% of cases, hence why I try and adopt a minimalistic lifestyle, it doesn't. I think about it and I'm like, do you know what? It's not worth it. I like with a little jazz, like using that as an example. Mechanically, I've spent a decent amount. That carries mint, but on the outside, it's just a 800 quid jazz. No one's impressed by that, But it serves me to the point where it buys me the freedom.
Serves a purpose.
Exactly.
It's got an objective.
Exactly. That's it. Everything has to serve a purpose in a way.
What do you want it for? It moves me from A to B. My partner, Holly's mum, is exactly the same. She's got nothing fancy.
Utilitarian. That's the word.
She
That's
wants something that if she wants to pull the caravan, it can pull the caravan. It can go up and down a hill. It's strong enough to pull that caravan up the hill.
It's really a diesel, is it? Or
No, 2 litre.
2 litres? Ah, sure, okay. No, fair play.
Went, 2 litre diesel, and it's brilliant.
Nice, yeah,
It's
decent.
brilliant.
But it's got decent torque, probably.
Yeah. It's X-Drive.
Is it?
BMWs.
Yeah, nice, yeah.
So basically, they're using an electronic kind of switch up. Don't ask me too much about it because I don't know that much.
Apocalypse ready. Apocalypse
I don't
ready.
know, but it's got some sort of 4x4 system.
Yeah.
It's good. Keeps on the road.
That's good. That's what I like.
In wet conditions and stuff like that. So
It's
I
nice.
thought of it as if I would want it to drive it, what would make it to be safe at the same time as being practical, at the same time of taking her to work. So basically doing 13 minutes down the road to work and home. Basically, it's not a gas guzzler.
Yeah.
It's not. In comparison to me, where I do, I think on the last MOT when I looked, 17,000 miles. So, then I'll look at different stuff.
Our cars are just like a mini representation of us, aren't
Of course,
they?
Yeah, well, I look at, when we do our car part, I will tell you more. I don't want to get into too much detail into that. I'll tell you more about the car and the mindset behind the car. It's not just image. A lot of people may think it's all image, and ego, but it's not. It's practical things behind it.
Back pay and all of that. You mentioned, yeah.
Yeah,
I got
that's
a really bad problem. We along the years we went through quite a few cars that we had, and I found for some reason it's not just that one. I had a different Mercedes before, and I've never had a problem with back pain with those cars for however long I've driven. Whether it was a 5-hour drive or half an hour drive made no difference.
I see why. Driving the old Mercs, I see why. They're built different.
Absolutely no difference to my lower back. As soon as I step into anything different, whether I'm used to that and that is my level, my standard on the seating and however I position my seat and that, whether it's just maybe in my head,
Might be.
could be.
Yeah.
Whenever I stepped into either that, and it's got the same level of comfort with heated seats, with all the gadgets and things. It's only a 2 different difference between the plates.
Is it?
Yeah. That one is 13 plate, the other one's 15 plate.
Oh, yeah.
Just the level trim on that, it's a lot higher. But if you look on the basic stuff, they're on the same level almost.
Oh.
So I drive more than a half an hour already because I took it. Various.
They should introduce back massages. I'd be driving all the time. I hate driving. I'd be driving all the time.
Well,
See, reward driven.
that was one of the options that I didn't have.
God knows how much more
So
expensive.
the previous owner,
Oh, okay.
the previous owner who had it obviously didn't add that extra spec. You can add from factory when
There's crazy specs you can add from the S classes, like stuff like obviously cooled seats, massage seats. Like the old ones, they even had like, but like even
Sex robots at this point.
I would not be surprised. Honestly, I would not be surprised at this point. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's especially the old modes, the W140s. You even had stuff like in the 90s. You had auto wipers. You had stuff like that. The central rear view mirror, you could have it a memory rear view mirror in 1990s, which is crazy. So
because a lot of the standard comes down
from that gap,
from Formula One.
Yeah,
So
100%.
because they have a Formula One development team on it, then a lot of the technology gets put on the road.
Look at E60 M5. That's Judd V10. That's basically a BMW Williams engine back when BMW was Williams back in the day. So
there you go.
Yeah, so it all does trickle down. It's same with the V12. Do you remember the V12 Audi? The the QA, the big V12 they did. They did diesel V12, which is the same V12, almost derivative of the one that they raced with in Le Mans.
Diesel V12.
Yeah, diesel, because Audi won multiple championships. They won multiple Le Mans with diesel V12s. They had a V10 diesel, V12 diesel. Yeah, that's how they like popularized that whole thing. And then that's why we had a crazy era of like the V10 RS6, for example, estate. Like, how crazy is that, an estate with a V10?
Maybe you're going to tell me some stats about my own car, which I probably don't know. Yeah, I'm not that too much.
You are a walking encyclopedia.
Yeah, I don't get that much into the rabbit hole. Like I say, I look at the two basic things. Is it gonna serve me, and would I like it? How is that gonna?
I guess that's a really good point, just to make it more general. If you want to ingrain a habit, then it's just how do you make it more rewarding, and what's desirable about it. It's you've got to.
Can you see yourself doing this in the future as well? Can you consistently see yourself?
Yeah, you've
doing
got to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it comes down to
So when are you next exercising? Come on.
my next.
When are you next exercising? Putting this in action.
Wow.
We're doing
We made it desirable. Yeah.
right now on the podcast. Smashing dumbbell.
Pre-workout.
Yeah, like smashing dumbbell guns.
Start small, even just one day a week. Start small. Well,
That's good. That's
Last time.
very good.
Small cigars.
your skin is looking. I'd say your skin's looking
Well done.
better.
Honestly, that's impressive. It's very good.
Kings.
How did you find that? Share that experience with us.
Oh, I've picked up and stopped many times along the years.
How did you find it? Like,
Are
what?
you a cold turkey or you a slowly wean?
What do you mean?
Cold turkey in the sense of you cut it out completely?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very stubborn.
How do you?
Decided.
What was it a day you woke up or did you plan the day that you were gonna quit?
No, it just goes on. Whatever it is. I think before Christmas I was a bit ill. If I'm not, yeah, and I missed a couple of things then, and then I had to see the doctor. They told me I had my usual tonsillitis. My tonsils get inflamed.
I had mine removed back in the day.
Yeah.
They stopped doing that now as
They
well.
stopped doing. You need. I've asked the doctor. 7. You need 7 occurrences within 12 months.
Jesus
period,
Christ.
all medicated. So you need to have antibiotics or steroids, one or the other, or both. And with no avail. If you have 7 occurrences within 1 year, that's how many. I think it's a cost to be in just obviously.
See, I just had a
No,
remove for
but the
free.
pharmaceutical industry is a whole industry.
It's another cost.
It's such a big business.
Medicate you then.
Put a plaster on it.
They'll medicate you till you get addicted to the medication, so then you have to buy the medication of them. It's a sick business.
Yeah, it happened the same when I was. I had a few years back. I had a bit of extra stress, and I had to go through a few exams. As you will find out, unfortunately, as you go older in life, you get these little hiccups, and it turned out it was a little bit self-inflicted. It was stress due to work environment, as you well know, and the company I was with at the time. The management was a little bit putting the stress onto the individuals, onto, like you say, on the overall. And it was a lot of micromanaging,
Don't like that at all. Yeah.
The foreman, the individual that was ahead to deal with the overall of had that habit. Whether the case was, that's how. And the problem is in our industry, as you well know, people are put into position without being given proper training. A lot of people are being brought from laminators and trimmers into supervising position, and they can't put 2 words together.
But they are friends with whoever put them in that position. That's the problem.
So they can't even address a problem in a professional manner when they come to speak to you. And unfortunately, it's a problem. And a lot of managerial positions are given the same way. Just because they've been so many years within the company, they think, oh yeah, well, we're going to recruit internally and who's the next person in line? Well, the next person in line is Dave. That's been 12 years with us, unfortunately, but not because competence.
Yeah, it's because
it
you pay your due.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. But
competence.
If I could just add on to that for anyone watching who's a Formula One fan or just wants to know about competence in general, I have met less people who got into some of these managerial positions rightfully because of what they did than people who got there because they knew someone.
So
To be
what I
real.
was going to say about health, I was given a medicine, right? A pill, Lanzo
Lanzaprol, yeah.
which had to do with gastritis and all that, and I stopped. I finished the course and I completely stopped. Didn't went to the doctor to repeat it, though I need it. Because part of my tonsillitis is related with the gastric reflux. So if I sleep in certain positions, I end up with a very rough voice in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's got other repercussions long term and stuff if it doesn't get treated. But rather than getting the treatment, which is Lanzaprol,
which isn't a treatment, it's a plaster.
It's a plaster,
yeah. Do you see the conundrum? So
it's difficult to
I'm
wean
not
away
gonna
from
get
it.
too much into it
Yeah,
because of all the pharmaceutical problems that they are tried with it in the industry. But it creates addiction, it creates heart issues, it creates
Reliance.
liver issues.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Reliance.
that's one pill that you think, oh, it's harmless. You
Yeah.
take it one day, it solves, it
Hides.
plasters the symptoms of gastroenteritis. But then,
and then when you strip away, you think, oh, my saviour.
You end up 15 years
Hello,
later
Chris.
that you die of a heart attack and you don't know why.
Yeah.
Sorry, very well. We had a lovely catch turn up. It looks very similar to our house cat.
Yeah. Pepsi, I like that.
Pepsi, it sounds similar to Lapsy. Right. Yeah. It's been good. It's been a good one. It's been an enjoyable conversation. I think.
Just quick fire questions. Test us.
Right, let's talk about war right now. No, I'm joking.
Light topics.
Yeah.
So there were a few more. We can think of something. We talk off camera and maybe we can think of a few more ideas. I don't know. We'll see. But I had more performance and demands physically and mentally, but we touched that on our last podcast a little bit, so it's not big loss there. The sacrifices that normally are normalized in F1 and maybe they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Which would be family time, obviously, personal time, health, as we know, we already touched. And burnout, obviously, because that's a big one in our industry.
Yeah, definitely.
And like I told you on a few messages over WhatsApp on the last couple of weeks, I have been doing a lot of weekends lately.
A lot, yeah.
And all that, and it's due to the increased output that we have to come up with in the build season. So it's a requirement in our industry. And people may have seen a couple of my most recent reels with the 70 hours weeks and all that. And 70 hours is sometimes across the board.
It's crazy.
So sometimes it's 100 hours. 70, I put it more.
But we'll never make that illegal, will we?
Well, it depends on how you write it on your contract.
That's what it is, yeah.
It comes down to clever contracting.
Yeah.
That's why it's called contracting. So, if it's cleverly underwritten in your contract.
It's scary what they can get away with.
No, because you basically sign away.
Yeah.
So there's NDAs and waivers. And when you step into whether it's a supplier or Formula One team, there's going to be a lot of that. So, for example, for phones and photography and filming within facilities is strictly forbidden, for example. Taking any of that to social media and is immediate dismissal. Not just lose your job, you can be sued and a lot of other things.
Freedom.
Yeah. Like I told my sons, in a way that if you want to have freedom, you have two choices. You become a gypsy with a caravan, like myself. And when you want your free time, you hook your caravan to your car and off you go to the hills. Or you are bound to the rules of society that we live.
Yeah.
And with that, let's have a closing reflection.
Yes, bro.
If someone who's watching us and works in Formula One or wants to work in Formula One, What do they truly need to accept before chasing it?
That your time isn't owned by you.
Okay, so you're selling time for money, number one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes there will be stretches of time where you will go through more sacrifices than outcomes that you want, the rewards, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Politics, you got to be ready for that, for sure, certainly.
When you say politics, you mean company politics, like internal politics?
Of course, sure,
Okay.
yeah. Internal politics, and always having your work and whatnot covered, so that you are covered yourself. It's you got to be ready to a certain extent to be involved in the politics of the place. Unfortunately, that's what I would say. But on the other hand, definitely be ready for a lot of exciting opportunities, a lot of doors opening, a lot of free gym facilities. A lot of teams offer free food, etc. The ability to some teams do. You can go and book yourself a sim, for example. Some teams run an entire season. They run a thing where you can go on an actual sim yourself and you can participate, and you're racing against each other. So a lot of things like that. Of course, don't get me wrong. I don't want to just highlight the negative stuff. There is a lot of good, access to, for example. Just to throw a random team in there, Williams have the biggest collection of privately owned Formula One cars in the world, for example. Okay. Go and see that. There's a wide variety of amazing things which you can go and see and participate in as well if you're an F1, right?
What would you say, Beth, in regards to what you're doing and health and nutrition?
Things to be aware of. Okay.
Something that someone, when they want to chase, not necessarily Formula One, but they want to chase a big goal, something that's going to have a lot of friction in their life, take a lot of their time. How would you?
Something I can take from this podcast as well.
Okay. My instinct says you're probably going to lose a lot of people as you're becoming your more authentic self. If this is for the client. But also, I guess, if you're a coach as well, because it's so saturated out there, it's so easy right now to morph and follow what is successful. So my advice generally to everyone, stay in your own lane. Success will come staying in your own lane. It will be slow, but stay in your own lane. What feels good to you, authentic to you, keep following that. If it stops feeling good, pause. If it feels good, follow that. Even if it's a complete diversion. I think we've lost that level of bravery to just take the risk if it feels good.
Yeah, I like
that's a bit more looser. That's a bit more.
I think even if you are maybe outcasted a little bit by whatever group you're a part of, because you do think in a different way, you do think in unorthodox ways, which oftentimes I have felt like that in the past, etc. Just follow that, don't let the society form you in that little.
Right. So for our car bits, I'm gonna have choice and signaling.
Okay.
That's going to be the two topics that we're going to have when we do our car session.
Yeah.
And we'll talk off the camera when you want to do that.
Yeah, sounds good, mate.
Yeah.
Sounds bang on. Yeah, no, it'll be good. It's been a good day. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
what do you reckon?
Me too.
It's been a really good chat I
Thank
think
you.
we had on a podcast. And yeah.
Where people can find you?
In me. I've got it on the back. But at inme.bb on Instagram and Facebook, or my website. I am Beth Beasley. And more and more stuff incoming.
All your advice, all your insights.
And you can join a group as well,
Yeah. Your journey and stuff that you do.
So, social medias, YouTube, Dave Gabos. So his literally just Dave, Gabos. And on Instagram is Dave Gabos _conversations. I'm pretty sure that's the one. Okay. So, come and join us.
Daily reels, this man.
Daily reels, daily shorts. We've got all sorts we're doing. Car reviews, 90s cars, all sorts we're doing. So, come and join us.
A review on mine.
Yeah,
so let's see
exactly.
Yeah, if you want to get your car reviewed.
Yeah. Come and join us. We've got a unit where we do all the filming and everything. We take them out on the road.
Well, that's all from us for today from BizTalkWithAlexandru. As you very well accustomed, you can find me across all social media platforms. And with that one, thank you very much for watching.
Cheers for joining us.
Thank you.
There we go. Happy days. Sweet. That was a good chat. Nice. I like that.
So, press the button. Yeah.
Right, thank you for watching this episode of Biz Talk with Alexandru. If you've made it this far, I genuinely appreciate your time. My goal with this podcast has always been very simple: to bring together engineers, contractors, founders, business owners, and people who are building something meaningful. No hype, no guru talk, and just real conversations and real lessons. If you found value in today's episode, please like, subscribe, and share with somebody who might benefit from this conversation. And if you'd like to be featured guest on the podcast, or your company is interested in exploring partnerships and collaborations with the show, I'd like to invite you to contact us. You can find all our links and email, including our contact informations and all our channels below. Until next time, thank you for watching, and remember, success isn't what you may accomplish in your own personal life, but what you inspire others to do. Thank you.